Hello there.
Hey guys, in today's video I will be reviewing the newest Mandalorian episode, The Jedi. This is the episode that Star Wars fans have been waiting for since the start of Season 2. The main buzz around Season 2 of The Mandalorian was getting to see Ahsoka Tano. In this episode we finally get to see Ahsoka. When I first heard rumors about Ahsoka I was very skeptical. I thought that there was no reason for Ahsoka to make an appearance in live action. But this episode did a great job with Ahsoka. It was an amazing choice to have Dave Filoni write and direct this episode. He knows Ahsoka better than anyone else, except maybe George Lucas. As for how the actress Rosario Dawson did, I thought she did a good job. She didn't do as good of a job as Ashley Eckstein. But I thought she portrayed the character very well. I am glad that they aren't going to have Ahsoka become a main character of the series. A brief cameo is all the Mandalorian series needed. She helps set Mando and the child on their next journey, which I hope involves a Luke Skywalker cliffhanger at the end of Season 2. Ahsoka was done well and was of course the highlight of the episode. Her white sabers were so cool to see in live action. Seeing her in action was the best part of seeing Ahsoka. One of the most entertaining pieces of Star Wars media that I have ever seen. It had so many emotional moments as well. At first I thought that Mando was going to give the child to Ahsoka. That made me so sad. I can't believe that one day the child and Mando are going to have to say goodbye to each other. Overall, this was my favorite episode in the Mandalorian series. For a rating, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Highly entertaining and something that I will look forward to rewatching. Now that I have given my first impressions, let's talk about the strengths of the episode. The biggest strength of the episode was Ahsoka Tano. She really is a larger-than-life character. Even though it was confirmed in Chapter 11 that we would see her, I was still in shock that we saw her in this episode. That opening scene where she is fighting the city of Caladan's army is amazing. The first sight of those white lightsabers was an amazing moment. Possibly one of the most exciting moments I have ever had, watching Star Wars. The army is outmatched and she tears them down with relative ease. I don't know what is different about Ahsoka's white lightsabers, but they look so much better in live action compared to how they look animated. As for how Ahsoka looks, I would say they did a brilliant job on making her look like she did in the Clone Wars and Rebels. Ahsoka definitely looks better as an animated character. But the design team for the Mandalorian series did a great job of making Ahsoka look good. Before I watched the episode I was extremely concerned on how Ahsoka would look. But those concerns have been put to rest after my first viewing of the episode. As I mentioned before, Rosario Dawson did a great job delivering her lines. There are some things that concerned me about how Ahsoka acted, but that is not Rosario Dawson's fault. I'll talk about those concerns later when I go through the weaknesses of the episode. Ahsoka was a make or break for this episode. If she was good, the episode would be good. If she was poorly written or acted, the episode would be bad. She dictated how good the episode was. Another strength of this episode was how it dived into the child's past. The child is now called Grogu, so I think that I should probably get used to calling him Grogu. We learn in this episode that Grogu was trained at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant during the Clone Wars. Grogu's past is just so interesting to me. I hope that the Mandalorian series explains Grogu's past further in a future episode. His past just raises so many questions like, who took Grogu from the Jedi Temple? Who was Grogu's master or masters? I really hope that these questions get answered in upcoming episodes. The Mandalorian series can be taken in many different directions from here on out. It will be almost impossible to predict the future of the series. At the end of this video I am going to try my best to predict the rest of the season, so stick around for that. Now, as for how I like the name Grogu, I am fine with it. I feel like they should have named him Buffy, which was the original name for Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back. Grogu just doesn't sound like something the internet will get used to. I feel like people will always call Grogu Baby Yoda. Although I believe even if his name was different that he will always be called Baby Yoda. A final strength of the episode is the serious implications on the show as a whole. Mando and Grogu are now on another quest to decide the fate that Grogu would like to take. The season has taken a big shift. Many fans thought that Ahsoka would be the one to train Grogu, but that ship has sailed. What we do know is that Moff Gideon and the Dark Troopers are after Mando and Grogu. Boba Fett is out there somewhere trying to get his armor back from Mando. And Bo-Katan is looking for Moff Gideon and the Darksaber. Just because we probably won't see Ahsoka again in The Mandalorian doesn't mean that this season won't have more jaw-dropping moments. We have several storylines that I believe will come together at the end of this season. This episode did a great job of setting up another one of those storylines. Now let's move on to the weaknesses of this episode. I said earlier that I will talk about some inconsistencies with Ahsoka's character in live action. First of all, this episode gave Ahsoka the same closed-minded mindset that the Jedi Order had back during the Clone Wars. I am referring to when she won't train Grogu, because of his attachment to Mando. This sounds exactly like the Jedi Council in The Phantom Menace and Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back. Ahsoka has abandoned this perspective on Jedi training. It doesn't seem like she would deny training someone because of their attachment to someone. However, there is a chance that Ahsoka is still very scarred from Anakin's fall to the dark side. Dave Filoni knows Ahsoka better than anyone, so this makes sense. Ahsoka just can't take that kind of pain again. The episode doesn't have many other noticeable weaknesses. This episode was nearly perfect Star Wars content. Now that I have gone through the strengths and weaknesses, let's talk about my predictions for the rest of the season. Here is what I think will happen. In the next episode, or possibly the episode after that, we will see Moff Gideon catch up to Mando. I believe that at some point Boba Fett will work his way into the mix. Maybe Boba will strike a deal with the Empire to hunt down Mando. Also Bo-Katan will be searching for Moff Gideon. So there is a chance that Bo-Katan makes an appearance as well. Mando doesn't have an army. And I have no idea how he is going to get an army. Maybe Bo-Katan will unite some Mandalorian clans to help fight against the Empire. That would be a sight worth seeing. If this does happen, it will probably be the finale of the season over the course of 2 episodes. I believe in Chapter 16, the final episode of Season 2, that we will see Mando put Grogu on top of the Seeing Stone at the Jedi Temple on the planet Tython. Then the ending scene will be Luke Skywalker meditating with his eyes closed. His eyes will open in realization that someone is connecting to him through the Force, and that will be the end of Season 2. If this were to happen, it would be my favorite cliffhanger in cinematic history. If it doesn't happen, I will be very disappointed. This would be the best possible way to end Season 2. The fandom would freak out, and so would anyone who watches The Mandalorian. I want this to happen so bad. Make sure to comment if this is the way you would like for Season 2 to end. Also comment if you think this might actually happen. If you had a good time watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time on Star Wars Ranked.